There's nothing like a home opener. There's nothing like a giant Dodger rivalry game with the pageantry and the emotions. And sometimes there's nothing better as a starting pitcher to not be pitching today because of some of the delays and all the stuff that goes on around you. The timing sometimes is slightly off.
So Jake Peavy takes the ball for the Giants, and he'll face off with his Honda starting lineup penned out by Dave Roberts. For the first time this season, it has a bit of a different look to it as he gets some of his regulars a day off. That means Yasiel Puig moves into the 3 spot with Justin Turner getting his first rest of the season. Carl Crawford gets the day off as well. That means Scott Van Slyke makes his first start, and Kike Hernandez replacing Justin Turner at the hot corner. And batting 7th with Austin Barnes back in there. Rotating starts with A.J. Ellis. Jake Peavy, 34-year-old out of Mobile, Alabama, who last year made only 2 starts over the first 3 months while he dealt with a back injury. But all indications are that he comes into this season pretty healthy.
Well, he also finished off the season pretty well here at AT&T Park. He went 6-0 in his final 8 starts here at AT&T Park, and very familiar with the Dodgers. If you're looking for the active leader in victories over the Dodgers, we'll look no further than Jake Peavy, as he is 14-3 is his record versus the Dodgers. And he's going to come at you with a fastball, cutter, curveball, slider, change mix. You know, the velocity isn't quite the same, you know, in his prime years. He's getting later in here as a veteran, but at the same time still knows how to pitch, utilizes that sinker, will pitch to contact more, and still a competitor on the hill.
Competitor is the key word. We've got 2 great competitors on the mound today. Alex Wood loves to bear down out there, and Jake Peavy wears his emotions on his sleeve with almost every pitch.
And a couple of veterans will go head-to-head to get this San Francisco home opener started. Chase Utley, 37-year-old. I think some people guessed would get today off, but with the 4th consecutive right-handed starter that the Dodgers face to begin the season, the left-handed leadoff hitter for Dave Roberts makes his start in that spot again. Off we go from San Francisco with ball 1 inside to Utley, who tripled to begin the ball game last night and has had a couple of textbook at-bats for a leadoff hitter over the first 3 games of this season. 7-pitch at-bat finish with a double on opening night, and hits a fly ball to right center field. It's Denard Span making the play for the first out. Peavy didn't enter the rotation full-time until July last year because of that back injury. Made 19 starts total. And now faces Corey Seager. Off to a hot start. Had 5 hits in the San Diego series. And has a base hit on the first one he sees from Peavy.
Not wasting any time jumping on that first pitch, getting that fastball. That's one thing Jake Peavy likes to do. He likes to get ahead. And the one thing that we talked about, okay, the velocity may have gone down as he's getting later in his career, but at the same time, he still knows how to put away a hitter. So you don't want to fall behind Jake Peavy. Get there, get the pitch you want, and drive it right back up the middle.
We talked early on this year, guys, about Yasiel Puig kind of being the X factor for this team. And off to a hot start. He's given Dave Roberts the ability to give Justin Turner the day off. And Puig sliding into that 3 spot after hitting 5th over the first 3 games of the year. Goes after the first one, and on the backhand, Duffy starts the turn, the double play. Duffy to panic to Belt. Peavy faces the minimum in the first, and Alex Wood takes the mound after this. Dodgers pitching historically good to begin the season. Clayton Kershaw, 7 shutout frames on opening night. Scott Kazmir, 6 shutout innings in his Dodger debut. Kenta Maeda did the same last night. And the Dodgers became just the 2nd big league team ever to open the year with 3 consecutive shutouts. Joining the 1963 St. Louis Cardinals, whose streak ended in the 6th inning of their 4th game of the year. And it's up to Alex Wood to carry the baton into this 4th game.
25-year-old who came over from the Atlanta Braves in an 8-player trade last year, set a career high in wins, in innings pitched, in starts. And if you remove Coors Field from his statistics from last year, it's a 3.32. So this young man is very, very good and really wants to continue this tradition and streak that the Dodgers have running with starting pitchers.
And he will face a very potent Giants lineup today. Denard Span leads it off and takes strike 1. Span, a new addition. First season in a Giants uniform, leading things off today. He's been battling a bit of a flu bug. It's been going around the Giants clubhouse over this first week. And Wood quickly ahead 0-2.
Or with a pitcher like Wood up there, with Dodgers on a streak, do you come in thinking about the streak, or are you thinking about just continuing the quality starts that you saw the previous pitchers have?
That first run is going to hurt no matter who gives it up. But in general, you're thinking about a quality outing, really putting up a quality outing. But every outing, you're thinking perfecto. You don't go into a game thinking I'm going to give up a hit. No, you think you're going to get everybody out. You don't think you're going to give up a run. You think you're going to throw a shutout. So you start with that perfecto and you move from there.
Dodgers record for consecutive shutouts, period, not just to begin a season, by the way. They had 4 consecutive games without giving up a run in 1966. Alex Wood to Denard Span with a 2-2 pitch.
You know, in some ways, guys, we have moved from spring training into utopia.
Yeah.
And we're waiting when the regular season will actually start. And it's kind of like brace yourself. Let's keep this going. Let's keep this dream season going, and then brace yourself for reality once you wake up.
Denard Span leading off this first inning and hitting one softly up the first base side. Wood pounces on it and throws it off of Span.
I think they're going to call him out running inside the baseline.
They will. And so 1 away instead of a base runner for the Giants to start the game. Altered his path, got in the way of the throw of Wood, and is called out by home plate umpire John Tompane.
Tompane making a different call than it was made the other night in a Yankee game where Joe Girardi really argued about this same exact path. The umpire explained to him you have to hit him in the back because the throw went high in that game, but this one Alex Wood just plugs Span, and that makes the call easy when he's inside the line.
And so Joe Panik bats with the bases empty and takes a strike. 25-year-old in his 3rd big league season. He's an all-star last year, but was shut down in August with back problems. Enters this year 100% healthy. Popped up, short left field. Hernandez and Seager, with Seager making the call for the catch, 2 away. Starting lineup for the Giants is brought to you by Honda. Here comes Buster Posey out of that 3 spot for Bruce Bochy. Pence, Belt, and Duffy in the middle part of the order. Crawford won a Silver Slugger, was an all-star, and he hit 7th. And for the 4th time in as many games, Bruce Bochy bats his pitcher 8th, with Angel Pagan hitting 9th. We have 2 true leadoff hitters. Pagan had been that guy for the last few years. They acquire Span and try to take advantage of those 2 guys by putting them 9-1. Posey grounds out to Hernandez on the first pitch from Wood, and that's a very efficient opening frame of work for Alex Wood. a scoreless series opener between the Dodgers and Giants. And Adrian Gonzalez steps in to face off with Jake Peavy as we check in with Alana Rizzo.
Well, guys, it's hard to imagine anything different as far as the lineup is concerned with the production this team has done in the first 3 games, but reinforcements are coming. In fact, Howie Kendrick, the infielder, is supposed to play with Rancho Cucamonga today in a rehab assignment. Yasmani Grandal is catching Zach Lee right now with the Oklahoma City Dodgers in Nashville. Those guys both set to return for opening day at home. Yasmani Grandal will not catch, but they will be on the opening day roster.
All right, Alana. Here comes the 1-0 to Gonzalez. Takes it inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Hyun-Jin Ryu, by the way, is scheduled to throw a sim game today with 2 20-pitch innings. And if all things go well, they expect to put him on a 5-day plan with the intent of building him up to be able to join this roster at some point towards the midway point.
Lineups are constructed by who you want in there for matchups and also who you want to rest. But with the good news about Howie Kendrick, Chase Utley's still in there today. And I think it's because his playing time will diminish when Kendrick is back and healthy anyway. So instead of taking a day game off after a night game with a plane flight in between, the 37-year-old is back in there knowing rest is coming when Howie's back.
Adrian Gonzalez hits a fly ball in the air to center. Back on it goes Span. He turns and it's off the top of the wall. Gonzalez just misses getting one out of here to right center, and it's a leadoff double here in the second.
Adrian Gonzalez coming into this game has had 23 at-bats against Jake Peavy, so he's had some familiarity with him, even though they were also teammates. But here, looking for his 4th home run against Jake Peavy and misses it just by inches as it hits the top of the wall there in center field, one of the deeper parts of this ballpark.
And so a man in scoring position to begin this inning as Scott Van Slyke comes up, making his first start of this 2016 year. Carl Crawford getting the day off. He goes after the first pitch, and it's a fly ball to center. This one playable for Span. Gonzalez holds it second, 1 away.
Just not deep enough. The one thing about this ballpark being such a big outfield, and also you got to factor in the wheels of Adrian Gonzalez. There are times when you can actually have a fly ball, a deep fly ball to center field, and still be deep enough to tag to go to third base. That one wasn't deep enough, and also factoring in Adrian Gonzalez's wheels, recognizing that he can't make an out over that third base, especially when he's in scoring position.
They put the shift on for Jock Peterson. They had a 2-run single in that 4-run first inning yesterday. A 7-0 win against San Diego. One of 3 hits in the series for Jock. We heard about the adjustment all offseason, the adjustments that he brought into spring training. Omar, what have you thought of the early sample of Jock Peterson this year?
Well, I like, it seems like he's staying on the ball a little bit better so far in the first 3 games that we've seen. But, you know, as far as the adjustments we've seen over spring, trying to reduce that late kick. He was on the heel a little bit in the spring. Then he's coming into the start of the season where he's not on that heel. So you can tell that he's still trying to find it. But so far, things have been working. And that's always good to see, because it's not something that you're just saying all of a sudden, all right, he found it. It's a progress throughout the entire season. You always hear, oh, you're constantly making adjustments. Well, that's all part of it, and you're constantly learning as well.
Gonzalez is second with 1 away, and Peavy's 1-1. Peterson hits it past his glove through Crawford, but he's able to keep it from squirting into center and saves a run in doing so. Infield single for Jock Peterson. Up to third goes Gonzalez, and they're at the corners.
And you talk about the adjustment. We've seen this from Jock. We saw that against the San Diego series. It has guys in scoring position with 2 outs from second to third, and he goes back up the middle to drive those guys in, going back up the middle here. And unfortunately for the Dodgers, you just got a fine defensive player out there in Brandon Crawford, and a smart play, just knocking it down, saving the run. Recognizing the type of pitcher that Jake Peavy is as well. He's a guy that can get, we already saw in the first inning, a double play. So Kike Key here, look for a ball up to try to get it up there in the air.
First start for Kike Hernandez this year. Couple of pinch hit at bats so far. Had a pinch hit single last night. Came in to score the Dodgers' final run of the game. One of the 25 runs they put up in San Diego. Outscoring the Padres 25-0 in the 3 games. Hernandez shoots a line drive to right. It's a base hit and it begins the scoring. In from third is Gonzalez and the Dodgers in front 1-0.
Good job by Kike Hernandez. Coming in, looking for a ball he can handle. And not only did he get a ball that he can handle, and that had some sink in it, but he stays inside and goes the other way. Doesn't pull off of this ball, especially early in the count. See that? Staying down on it, staying with it, driving it. Fine at bat by Kike.
5 out of the 7 Dodgers have swung at the first pitch. I guarantee you in the hitters meeting it was about expect fastball and let's attack it.
So 2 on for Austin Barnes, who attacks the first one, and a base hit for him. Peterson held at third, and Pagan's throw is cut off. They've loaded the bases here in the second.
Jake Peavy and Buster Posey picking up on the pattern of the Dodgers. They throw a little slider wrinkle there, but Austin Barnes still attacks it. The ball kind of stays in the middle of the plate and just hung there. And he took it into the 6th hole right here with about a 3-hopper. You see a little break, trying to as a backup slider. Just pounded it.
Step in the box and be ready.
Yeah.
I mean,
yep.
I don't know what's so hard about that.
Major league average on first pitch last year was 340.
They're loaded up for Alex Wood, who takes strike 1. Wood trying to help his cause. Dodgers in front 1-0. Peterson at third, Hernandez at second, Barnes at first, and an 0-1. Jake Peavy, a 15-year big league veteran. And his 1-1 pitch is low. 2 balls and a strike on Wood.
I know Jake Peavy is facing a pitcher, but as his career has progressed, he used to get most of his strikeouts with his fastball. Up fastball, down fastball. 50-60% of the strikeouts would usually come by fastball. Now, at the end of his career here, a little older and longer in the tooth, 64% of his strikeouts last year came with the breaking stuff.
See what he goes with on a 2-1. Bounce to short. Crawford's got it. There's 1 and 2. Second double play in as many innings turned by the Giants, and the Dodgers settle for 1. They lead 1-0 to the bottom of the second.
You got David.
Well, as soon as we sent it to break, Dave Roberts emerged from the dugout and decided he wanted to challenge something. At first we thought, well, it wasn't that close of a play at first, but then taking a closer look at second and remembering that the neighborhood play is now reviewable, did Joe Panik's foot come off of the bag before he caught that flip?
So the next time you see this replay, look down at the second baseman Panik's foot. You can't see it from this angle. We'll go back to the other angle. And so when the ball disappears in the glove, is the foot off the bag? That's what they're looking at probably in New York.
That angle right there looks like he might have pulled it off. You know, that's this new rule here, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of it, but the neighborhood play, the reason there used to be a neighborhood play and people are going home, well, listen, the rule is supposed to keep his foot on the bag. Well, the neighborhood play was designed to keep him safe, because that's when you were allowed to go and really go in there and go in hard and break up the double play off the bag. And so you wanted to allow the middle infielder, especially your second baseman who was blinded, that, okay, if he got out of there a little quicker, that's where the neighborhood play, and they'd look past it and say that's okay. But now that you have to slide to the bag, you got to keep your foot on.
Crew chief Jeff Kellogg on the phone with the New York Replay Center. Here's the verdict. Oh, not quite. Here's the verdict. He's safe. And it's 2-0 Dodgers on an overturned call. That's 2 nights and 2 calls going the Dodgers' way on reviews.
You see it from that angle and what they called, and I'll tell you, you know who was all over this? You know who said don't get off the field? It was Chris Woodward, the third base coach. Actually kept Kike at third. He said hold on, and he was pointing right away at second base and telling Coach Roberts to challenge that.
He had a good angle on it over there at third, for sure. So we have a 6-4 to 3 fielder's choice for Alex Wood.
And Jock Peterson lines up scoring from third. Kike Hernandez up to third. Barnes safe at second. Back to the top of the order for Chase Utley. Through 3+ games, this is a charmed club. Utley flied to center his first time. And takes ball 1 from Peavy. We thought that he had gotten his second double play in as many innings to get out of the bases loaded jam. The overturned call plates a run and puts him back on the bump, still trying to get out of it.
Chase Utley swinging the bat better than he has in a lot of years, and it's really nothing according to his work ethic or any major changes he's made. It is health and the ability to get those reps in the cage and the reps on the field. He looks like his old self.
Then with that ankle injury all of last season, first with the Phillies, then with the Dodgers. Here's a 1-1. Keeps it in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
Keep thinking about that play at second base as a middle infielder. What you've done, I mean, all of a sudden this year, Shane, you're so used to the way you turn the double play, and you know, just the instinct that you have, and whether you're pulling that foot off and what you're allowed at second base, and you're just thinking in the back of your mind as the guy's bearing down on you. It's going to take some adjustment.
And we get in a 3-1 count right here, and you think, okay, who's on deck with first base open? Well, Corey Seager has a reputation already in baseball that you're not pitching around Chase Utley to get to the rookie. They're going to pitch them both tough, knowing you got first base open. You don't want to give in to Utley, but you've got a lot to deal with in the on-deck circle.
2 runs in the bank on 4 hits in this inning against Peavy. Utley trying to cash in a couple more. And takes a strike, 3-2. First strikeout for Jake Peavy. Strands runners at second and third, but the Dodgers take advantage of the overturned call to get an extra run and lead Jake Peavy and the Giants 2-0. The Dodge Challenger. Test drive one at your local Dodge dealer today. Back in San Francisco, Dodgers with a pair in the top of this inning and a 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second with Orel and Nomar and Alana. Joe Davis at AT&T Park for the Giants home opener. And Alex Wood back to the bump to face Hunter Pence in the middle third of this Giants lineup. Pence 2 hits yesterday in the finale in Milwaukee. 4 hits total in that series as he tries to stay healthy this year. He had been such an Iron Man since joining the Giants a few years back, but then dealt with a broken arm last year that led to the wrist tendonitis. He got healthy from that and was shut down with an oblique injury.
He's the emotional leader of the Giants too. This is a guy who plays the bugle almost with these guys and gives the pep talks and is the voice in the dugout, the voice in the clubhouse. It's really hard to do when you're hurt.
Wood pitching him aggressively, 1-2.
There's Bochy barking a little bit. Alex Wood will take that strike.
Hunter Pence leading off this second. And down to the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Didn't miss a game in his first 2.5 years in San Francisco. So entering last year, he had the longest active game played streak in the majors. Wound up missing more than 100 games last year. Lays off, count evens up.
It was an impactful 111 games that he missed. The Giants record was a .450 winning percentage, 50-61. But with Pence in there, they were 34-17, 667.
I remember reading something last year. Tim Hudson, who was with the Giants, called him their mascot.
and that was positive.
Yes.
It was
right.
A compliment to what he brings.
After falling behind, he's worked it full. Alex Wood delivers one that's hit in the air to right for Yasiel Puig. 4 up and 4 down for Wood. So Pence retired, and up comes Brandon Belt. They put the shift on the left-handed hitter. This is one of the only guys in the Giants lineup that you can feel totally safe about shifting on. And hits a towering drive to right center field. Puig goes back. That ball is off the wall. Belt has a double.
always one of those guys on opposing teams that you always feel, gosh, they just beat you up all the time. And Brandon Belt always seems to be that guy against the Dodgers. Here he is, getting his hands inside nicely, driving that ball to right center. And just like Adrian Gonzalez's ball stayed in the park off the wall, that one stayed in the park. And good job by Yasiel to get on that ball and get that in quick.
Started to mention that it's hard to shift on too many of these hitters because the Giants had the lowest pull percentage, so the lowest frequency of pulling balls in the entire majors last year. Belt really the only guy that you can count on pulling the ball. Here's Matt Duffy, who finished runner-up to Chris Bryant for National League Rookie of the Year a season ago.
And you know how you beat the shift? Do with Brandon Belt, you hit it over it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you put your infielders. Duffy pops one up to center. Scott Peterson, 2 away. Alex Wood, who came into spring training battling for a rotation spot, got it partially because of the injuries. Hyun-Jin Ryu not ready for the start of the season. Then Brett Anderson went down with a back surgery. Then Mike Bolsinger. Although Wood was slotted just above Bolsinger in the depth chart. But regardless of what his standing was coming in, he was confident as soon as he arrived in spring training that he would be a member of the rotation to start the year. His first one to Brandon Crawford. It's cut on and missed. Strike one.
There are guys that come into camp that are hoping to make the team or hoping to get a job, and then once they get it, for some reason they're overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, it was a lot better being the underdog and fighting for it. But not with Alex Wood. Alex Wood, he stepped up right away and said, no, I'm going to be in the rotation, and that was even before the injuries happened.
He said, I plan on being in the rotation and I don't plan on leaving. Back-to-back breaking balls, and he's ahead of Crawford, 0-2.
Another dangerous hitter in Brandon Crawford coming up. We talked about Brandon Belt. He also seems like one of those guys that beats up on the Dodgers. But last year, a tremendous year offensively for him as well. I mean, he led the team in home runs with 21.
Shows you the depth of this lineup. They can put him 7th.
And you have the pitcher hitting 8th. And this is one of those moments too where you're thinking, okay, I think there's going to be a lot looked at whether the benefit of hitting that pitcher 8th as compared to having 2 leadoff hitters, like they say, by putting somebody like Pagan there at 9th. But do you pitch around a guy like this to get to the pitcher when the guy's in scoring position?
The pitcher batting 8th was originated by Tony La Russa, with Mark McGwire being his 3rd hitter instead of hitting Mark 4th. He liked the idea of having the pitcher face Mark McGwire in the first inning for sure, and then having more hitters in front of him when he came around the second time. So in reality, McGwire hits 3rd the first time around the order and 4th from then on the rest of the game.
So we've seen it at different times for completely different reasons. You told us there why it originated with La Russa. As down on strikes goes Crawford. We saw the Cubs last year try to protect the rookie and Addison Russell, batting him 9th. And for the Giants, it's the case of really having 2 true leadoff hitters that they can pair back to back. Corey Seager leads off the Dodgers third against Jake Peavy, with LA in front of San Francisco 2-0. Seager fouls off the first one. We continue to see the Dodgers be aggressive. Seager was the first guy to set that tone, going after the first pitch against Peavy and singling into center back in the first. But several guys in this lineup have followed that lead, going after Peavy's first offering. Fly ball to left. Long run for Angel Pagan. He got there for the first out of the inning. Celebrate the legacy of Jackie Robinson Friday, April 15th, when the Dodgers meet the Giants at 7:10 back in Los Angeles. First 40,000 fans in attendance will receive an adult replica Jackie Robinson jersey from Bank of America. As always, go to Dodgers.com/promotions to learn more. One away in the third. Here's Yasiel Puig. Grounded into a double play that ended the first. And is now 0 for 8 in his career against Jake Peavy.
Nomar, you love to attack that first pitch. Yasiel has really had some good numbers on the first pitch over the years.
Well, when you think about back in 2013, you see that the average 551 with 9 home runs. I mean,
and a missile base hit into left. Didn't matter what number pitch that was to the at bat. He corked it to left.
You know, there are times when you and I have discussed it numerous times how there's information you gather. You as a pitcher, even you want them to swing early because then you're getting information. Well, even as hitters, when you swing at the first pitch, sometimes when you foul that off, you're gathering information to make the adjustment. And then you also know pitchers such as Jake Peavy, and I remember playing against Jake Peavy, facing him. Scouting reports were he's going to try to get ahead early. He's going to try to get ahead early with the fastball. He's going to try to attack you early. So don't just sit there and get behind, because you know he also can strike you out. He has a put-away pitch.
Adrian Gonzalez just missed his 4th career home run against Peavy his first time up. Doubled off the wall in right center. You had good numbers against Peavy, Nomar, but you said that he was the kind of guy you would have loved to have played behind and had as a teammate.
You know, he's a competitor on the hill. You see that, the intensity. And, you know, when you're playing against him, it would fire you up. You get angry, and the way he, you know, you go on, man, I don't like that guy. But at the same time, you know, you had to respect what he did and how he went out there and he competed. So for me, I saw that. I was like, you know, he also respected the game, and he would respect when you get a good hit off of him. He was like, darn it, good hit.
I think the fans would appreciate that banter exchange, because we see players talk on the field, even opposition, and explain what happened.
I mean, yeah, I remember getting a hit off Jake Peavy, and it's, you know, I'm at first and he's looking at me and it looks like he's jawing at me, and he's angry, but he's like, gosh, that was a really good hit, Nomar, man. And then, you know, there were times I'd be running down, he'd get me out, and I'm like, man, good pitch. He goes, man, I know. You know, but
I know.
You know, right? It was, but at the same time, you know, we're competing out there and trying to beat each other, but there was respectful competition out there.
You were facing him while he was one of the best in the game, too.
Sounds like he's a brother from another mother. You guys are competing like brothers.
No, it's, you know as well as I know. You go out there, you're competing. And everybody's like, oh, you're not. It's not that we're friends. We're competing, but you respect the guy that's going out there and giving it his all, and he's emotional and trying to beat you. Because I expect that from everybody I'm facing.
When Pete Rose was playing first at the end, he was chasing the hit record at the end of his record. He was playing first base. I was in a bunt situation. He charged really, really close, and I pulled back and swung and fouled the ball off. And he yelled at me. You know, I said, hey, it's going to be a shame if I hit you right in the mouth and you can't get that hit record. So then I ended up striking out, and he goes, right turn, get down.
Awesome.
It was so much fun.
2-1 to Gonzalez. Left it up there, hit it off the end of the bat some, but it carries well, and Pagan can't get it. It's off the wall. Puig hits third and heads for the plate. He will score on an opposite field double from Gonzalez. Dodgers in front 3-0. Thing just kept on going.
Well, the wind is blowing out to left field. It has really kicked up here in this last half inning. We've watched the wind kind of blow in and kill some balls to center field. Adrian Gonzalez hitting the top of the wall in his first at bat. This one he doesn't get as much of, but he gets the benefit of the wind. And I'll tell you what, with this double, the combination of Adrian Gonzalez and Yasiel Puig was something that Dave Roberts wanted to leave together.
It did, and I'll tell you the other combination right there is the fact that he scored was the way Yasiel read that ball. He was right at second base reading that, knowing it was going to be a tough play out there on Pagan in left field, and then once he saw that it hit, he was off and running and scored easily.
So Gonzalez with a pair of doubles, and both of them just missed going out.
You know what I talked about, there's Adrian driving that. He's over there. You're not sure. Does he have a beat up? Looks like he might catch it. And then no, once it falls, if he happened to catch it, he was still in an easy position to come back if he happened to catch it. But he also set himself in a position for exactly what happened. If it does fall, he can score.
Scott Van Slyke now takes a ball. He swung at the first pitch his first time up as well and flied out to center. Another fly ball into center. Span went back at first, now comes on and makes the catch in front of Pence for the second out.
Home opener for the Giants, and Denard Span out there just trying to get a feel for his new home ballpark. A little help from Hunter Pence. Actually, Hunter ran a better route for it, but it's the center fielder's ball where it ended up.
Jock Peterson singled his first time. And came in to score the Dodgers' second run. Gonzalez at second with 2 away. And Peterson pulling one foul. Hitting 6th today. At 7th. And that consistent lineup in San Diego, where the only change any day was switching at catcher from Ellis to Barnes and back to Ellis. But with Dave Roberts giving some of his regulars a rest today, Peterson up 1 spot in the order.
Our veteran hitters over the years, you watch the multiple approaches they have to hitting, depending on the situation, depending on the counts. Then they open up their swing, or they close their swing down, or they shorten up. And the more we watch Jock and the more we watch Yasiel, you're starting to see multiple approaches within a game and within an at-bat.
And I think that's been one of our biggest critiques, or when we do watch them, we're like, okay, you know, hopefully they're learning that 2-strike approach, you know, shortening up when there's 2 strikes, but also recognizing that it's not the swing to try to hit a home run every time in the count. Sometimes the count and the game can dictate when you can try to go for it.
Here it's a 1-2 count. The pitch fouled off again. Stays at 1-2.
It's kind of like a comparison with a pitcher or a thrower. Guy has great stuff, but really hasn't learned to pitch. Guy has great bat speed, really hasn't learned to hit. And it's about not only throwing the ball hard, but locating it, knowing how to change speeds, take a little on, put a little on, throw the harder slider, throw the bigger, slower slider. Same thing with hitting.
Runner at second with 2 gone. Posey wants it up and in. Now sets away. And Peterson fouls off another.
I like that foul ball, Nomar, over that side compared to when he pulls it down the first baseline.
Well, that one, he was just underneath it. It's that I like the opposite field kind of line drive foul ball compared to pulling it. But that also, you know, he fouled it. But if you also just watch him when he's swinging, that one, he didn't really that front shoulder didn't come flying or spinning out. So it's going to give him more of a chance. And I'm not saying he's going to make contact all the time, but it just gives him a chance to be a little bit more consistent.
Chuck has a bug flying around his head. Asks for time. Gonzalez with an RBI double. He's at second. And with 2 away in the third, here comes another 1-2 from Jake Peavy. Peterson flips it down the left field line, slicing out of play. Dave Roberts' run differential as a manager plus 28. Jock trying to add on. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes Peavy again. And again, he stays alive, and we're not getting those line drives you like, but he's doing a nice job to protect.
Got to fight him off. Staying in there. One thing we talked about, Jock. What did I just say about that 2-strike approach? And oftentimes we don't see that swing. We see it even with 2 strikes, it gets big. And it looks the same. You couldn't tell what the count is if you actually watched just that one moment. But here he is. He's fighting it off.
And another fly ball foul. We'll do it once more.
I don't care what he does in this at bat at the end. This is a great at bat. This is a step forward.
Making Jake Peavy work. Dodgers already with 3 runs on 7 hits. One of those base hits came from Peterson last inning. And this will be the 9th pitch of this at bat for Jock Peterson against the veteran Peavy. He's ready for another 1-2. Stays alive once more.
Adrian's getting a workout out there with all these 2-strike foul balls. 2 strikes, 2 outs. He's watching Jock, and when the bat starts, he's moving. He might get burned a little bit on a check swing, but Jock doesn't usually check swing the 3-2. Gives Adrian a better chance to score on a base hit here. He'll be off and running on the swing.
And finally, Peavy wins the battle with a changeup that disappears. His second K strands Gonzalez at second. But the Dodgers add 1 with a single from Puig and a double from Adrian Gonzalez. Scoreless innings in his 2016 debut, and the Dodgers now 3 scoreless innings away from matching a major league record for consecutive scoreless innings to begin a season. They've already matched the 1963 St. Louis Cardinals by becoming the only teams in big league history to begin the year with 3 consecutive shutouts. The Cardinals team in '63 gave up its first run in the 6th inning of its 4th game. Jake Peavy, the pitcher, batting 8th, and lining one to right for a base hit. And Puig caught it on a bounce with intentions of taking a shot to first to get him.
He was pointing to Adrian Gonzalez to get back to first before the ball even got to him. He was thinking about it right when he hit it to get back there, and he was getting his body set to throw to first base, but then slipped out there on the grass. But he was already pointing and letting them know, and you see that back foot just giving out on him. And smart just to hold on to it.
You saw a great shot of the turf there. Grass literally gave out under him. And Peavy's aboard to lead off this inning. So here's a spot where batting your pitcher 8th. Looks genius. Angel Pagan takes ball 1. We talked about it a little bit before the Giants came up last time, but different reasons for batting the pitcher 8th. You mentioned Tony La Russa doing it, so Mark McGwire potentially would have more people on base for him coming up the 2nd time through the order. The Cubs did it last year, batting Addison Russell 9th for much of the year just to protect the rookie. Giants do it because they have 2 true leadoff hitters in Pagan and Span. That's kind of the softball philosophy. You'll see a lot of teams put their slap hitter in softball down in the 9th spot and bet the pitcher 8.
When you bet a rookie 9th to protect him, you're really protecting him from the responsibility of the 8-hole in the National League with having a pitcher behind you. Maybe getting him a few more strikes, maybe not giving him the responsibility to try and turn the lineup over to get the pitcher out. You know, a lot of different things in the 8-hole that you would love to have someone who understands the position in the order and can control his bat and his emotions.
It helps that the Giants have some really good hitting pitchers. Strike on the edge, 2-2.
It really been odd to have the 7th guy make an out, and now Peavy leads off with an out, and normally the normal 8 hitter would hit maybe, and then the pitcher could bunt him over. It really takes the lineup out of order if the 7 hitter makes the last out.
Barnes sets inside, and Wood strikes out Pagan. His 2nd K of the day, 1 away here in the 3rd.
You know, or we talk about, okay, there's going to be a lot of people analyzing what it means to have that pitcher hitting the 8th hole, as we see Alex Wood just paint the lower part of the zone. But I'm curious too if they're also keeping track of when the decision from a bullpen standpoint, when the manager has to go to the bullpen, if the batter batting in the 8th almost pushes that thought sooner rather than later, if that one spot in the lineup affects that. And I know it's hard to track, but that's something I think you would have to try to pay attention to, and as you move forward.
That's one more way that you could possibly toggle your lineup left, right for the last time around with your pinch hitters.
Wood ahead of Span, 0-2. Where do you guys stand on the whole DH argument? Some people want a DH in both leagues, but we don't get to have these kinds of conversations if you have a designated hitter.
As a National League pitcher most of my career, I absolutely loved hitting. I thought it was another way to beat the opposing pitcher and beat the opposing team.
I like it. I like having the hitter, I mean the pitcher hit. I do. I like just having them both. You can have the DH in one league and have the National League rules. I like keeping it separate. I don't want DH in both leagues. It is a different game. The DH definitely affects the game. There is no question about it.
You know, it was nearly adopted in the early 1980s at the GM meetings. They needed a majority vote, and Pittsburgh was going to vote with Philly, and Philly was going to vote for a DH. But then there were issues with not having the correct GMs there, and the vote swung and wound up not passing. I think one of the GMs was on a fishing trip or something like that. And the guy that was filling in for him didn't have the authority to pull the trigger on it, and so the vote fell through, and here we are What, 30-some years later, and still have it how it was in 1980 when it nearly became DHs in both leagues.
Sounds like a unique way to abstain from the voting or go opposite of what you've promised. Just go fishing.
We were really biting that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we had a meeting.
Here's Joe Panik. And a first pitch breaking ball from Wood, which he's gone to frequently. Strike one. Panik popped out his first time. Former St. John's Red Storm star. Hits it on the ground to first. Gonzalez has it, takes it to the bag, and the Dodgers are now 2 innings away from matching a major league record for consecutive scoreless innings to begin a season. Those runs coming thanks to an overturned call on a reviewed neighborhood play, Alana Rizzo.
Something new in 2016. Of course, the call being overturned in the second inning. Alex Wood actually safe at first base, actually getting the RBI, I should say, because of the play at first base. And then, it's an interesting thing because the play is overturned. It's now reviewable because of the whole unceremoniously and the Chase Utley slide rule because of what happened in last year's NLDS. And then the inning gets extended. Chase Utley is next at the plate. He's there with Buster Posey, who of course now has the Buster Posey rule. Just interesting to see how baseball is changing with all of these different rules and, plays and rules made after certain guys, and wondering what the baseball purists think of this.
Would that be the guys sitting next to me, Alana?
I think so.
When we find a few, we'll ask them.
Well, okay, whatever you are, baseball purists or not, what do you guys think?
Can't stand it.
I don't like it either.
Like it. I didn't like the. First of all, I don't like the Buster Posey rule at home plate. I don't think it was needed and warranted about running over. And listen, it's not about hurting somebody, but it's real simple. If you don't want to get run over at home plate, don't block the plate. This is like, for me, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Guys didn't start running over the catcher till they started blocking the plate.
Kike with the 3-0 green light grounds it to Crawford for the first out.
Because my argument with that has always been that, listen, when they're running to third or second, they can run us over when we're tagging there. They're allowed to. We just don't block second, or we don't block third. If I started blocking them when a guy was stealing, I'd start getting run over. But you have equipment on, and that's why they started blocking home plate, so people started running you over. If you don't want to get run over, don't block the plate and you're fine. As far as second base, you're supposed to go break up the double play. Now, once again, you're not supposed to hurt somebody, but you're going in there hard to break up the double play. I mean, as a middle infielder, you're always taught to be ready that they're going to come in hard and put yourself in a position so you don't get hurt.
Austin Barnes into the hole, testing Crawford again. This week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. So go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network.
Scouting reports everywhere, too, back then, just on what a runner does, what a middle infielder does, what a third baseman does. Does this guy drop his knee to block the bag? Then you come in spikes first, feet first. Does the runner come head first? Then you can drop your knee and block him. There's just so many subtleties of, if you do this, I'm going to do this.
And if you know that their catcher won't block home plate, then you're not coming in to run him over. You want to score the run. That's what you're thinking. So you're like, good, I can make a hook slide and avoid the tag. And the same thing at when that's what we talk about Ruben Tejada. It's snow. Chase Utley's coming in hard to break up a double play. I would never turn my back to try to turn a double play on Chase Utley, ever.
Matt Holliday.
Another one. Absolutely. No question. Matt Holliday, not only is coming, but is going to slide really late. It's in the scouting. We know this.
We could go back in every generation and pick 5 of the hardest sliders.
Right.
Wood takes strike 3, and that finishes the 4th inning for Jake Peavy. His first true 1-2-3 frame of the game. Willie Mays Plaza on a perfect day for the Giants home opener. Dodgers halfway home, spoiling it. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by BMW. See a Southern California BMW Center today for exceptional offers, or visit SoCalBMW.com. And by Children's Hospital Los Angeles. We treat kids better. Such a long, storied history between these two franchises. Willie Mays played in so many classic Dodger Giant games over the years. He's in the house today. Was honored before the game. He's seen his Giants fall into a 3-0 hole as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And Buster Posey set to lead it off against Alex Wood. He starts him off with a fastball at 91, strike 1. Posey 2 for 10 so far this season. And quickly behind Wood, 0-2. 29-year-old in his 7th year now in the big leagues. But really, that's parts of 7 seasons. It's much less than that when you consider that one of those 7 seasons was during a September call-up. Missed most of 2011 with that bad leg injury from the collision of the plate that we talked about last inning. Bounced back from that with all-star seasons in 2013 and then again last year. And of course, has those 3 World Series rings in his first 6 Major League seasons. Leading off this 4th inning. By reaching out, tapping one to Corey Seager. Behind the bag, transfers wide. Couldn't quite dig it out of the mitt.
Yeah, he had trouble there, and it looked like it almost like he was indecisive whether he wanted to spin around and throw or to bring his body back across. As we watch him get to this ball, I suppose he can run, get down the line. But see right there, it's one of those where it almost like if he had reached out a little bit farther, it might have caused him to spin around. But since he didn't, he actually, when he was getting to it, it wasn't as far as a reach, so then he had to readjust his body to try to get the thrower to first, and by then it was just too late.
Hunter Pence now goes after the first one. It's Hernandez to second for 1. Utley's turn to first is late. They get the lead runner. Pence aboard on the fielder's choice. 1 gone.
Always a good feeling for a pitcher when you give up that infield hit. You feel a little bit burned by the game. But then you come right back and on the first pitch get another ground ball, get that force out, and you feel like you're back in the saddle as far as throwing a 0 up on the board.
I was just looking at that double play and watching Chase Utley turn it as he kept that foot on. As we already saw that be overturned in this game. But, you know, that was even last year. Remember last year Chase Utley got called for coming off the bag. And it also, and then you saw him afterwards, it wasn't quite as smooth. I mean, he's been making the transfer for, gosh, how many years in the big leagues? It's been an unbelievable amount of years. And so it messed with him a little bit. So it's something that he had to work on even in spring training in the offseason. Go, okay, I got to stay on there, throw it a little bit different. And now with this new rule as well.
We say that the neighborhood rule is now reviewable. But really what that means is the neighborhood rule no longer exists.
Yeah, it's gone. Which, as an infielder, okay, as long as if you're going to be enforcing the other one, where now they, like I said, I don't like the rule, but if you're going to say you have to slide it into second base and no intent of hitting the position player, then you are more inclined to stay on the bag.
Well, I think the rule's written almost in a way that they can hit you as long as it's below the knee and as long as you can touch the bag.
Well, it's not. No, it's not. It's not even.
And
they
can
hit you
on the bag.
They can hit you, but as long as you're intending to slide at the bag, not slide.
Starts before the bag.
But then it leaves it very open to your interpretation. Was he trying to slide into you or slide at the bag or make contact? Because the rule has been there before that. Can't say always, but has been there where as long as you can reach the bag, I can slide and get you and go after you all I want as long as I can reach the bag. Now you can't do that.
The rule says, the wording is that you must make a bona fide slide. You must make contact with the ground in front of the base before contact with the fielder. 2-2 on Brandon Belt. You must be in the vicinity to reach the base with your foot or your hand, and you've got to be able to remain in contact with the bag, so you can't slide way past the bag. And the penalty, which the Toronto Blue Jays saw a couple of nights ago in a critical spot, is an automatic double play. Cost the Blue Jays a game in Tampa Bay 2 nights ago. Wood sits down Belt with a nasty slider. 2 away.
Well, Alex Wood has been attacking with the fastball. The velocity of the fastball has been elevated this year, actually creeping back to when he was a rookie, that velocity. And then to be able to throw that big sweeping slider. Remember, arm speed when it improves and leverage when it improves. Also, your ability to spin the ball improves.
How about that? He's delivered first pitch strikes to all but 1 hitter today. Trying to pitch around the leadoff single from Posey. Here's Matt Duffy. And there's strike 1 once again.
2-seamer at 86 with nice little tail and sink on it right there. Alex Wood would love the wind to be right off of his left cheek for that 2-seamer, because then it all bites and goes down into the wind.
Coming inside here with an 0-1. And Duffy pops it in the air to right. Yasiel Puig looking into the sunshine, making the play, and it's another scoreless inning for Alex Wood and Dodger pitching. 31 consecutive scoreless innings to start the year, one short of matching an all-time major league record. LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Get huge cash back on a new Camry or a Corolla at Toyota's Axe the Tax sales event. Alex Wood, 4 shutout innings, and you're getting to the point where you're what, 4 games into the season now, and some pretty darn gaudy numbers for Dodger pitching.
I mean, this has happened once in history where you can going into the 4th game where you can actually see all the pitchers have an ERA of 0.
The relievers are working on a combined shutout. They're at 8 zeros just themselves.
I mean, there's moments where you just kind of look at the scoreboard. You're like, gosh, that'd be cool just to get a picture of, just because it's, you know.
Like when you're batting 1,000.
Right.
3 for 3, first game.
Chase Utley looks at a strike, 1-1.
Hey, honey, point your iPhone at the big scoreboard next time I come up.
Yeah,
I want to have that. I want to blow that up, get an 8x10 in my office.
Right.
We got to snap pictures of those graphics. Nobody's given up a run for this Dodger staff so far. And Utley begins this inning with a base hit to right. In case you missed it.
Hold it for a second, guys.
It's fun just to look at. We know that you get the point. They've not given up a run, but look how ridiculous this looks. These guys, with the exception of Ross Stripling, have all pitched.
This isn't open. That's not opening day stats. That's going into the 4th game.
No pressure, Ross.
I'm going to be tweeting that picture out from my monitor.
Be tweeting and broadcasting at the same time.
Oh, you are a multitasker.
You are something.
Wow.
Corey Seager, 1 for 2 today. Swings through the first one from PV, strike 1. As the Dodgers try to match the all-time record for shutout innings to begin a season, by the way, they'll do it against the bottom 3rd of the Giants' order. It'll be Crawford, PV, Pagan due up against Wood in the 5th. Not often there's a reason to give due ups in the 5th inning, but it's been that kind of start to this season for the Dodgers. Loved your line to start the game, Laurel, that was it spring training to euphoria?
Yeah. Utopia.
Utopia. Either one.
I just tweeted the picture out of the The graphics and pitching and defense, and oh yeah, 28 runs.
On 42 hits.
Wow.
Off of the glove of Belt, able to recover and get the out at second. And I know the most impressive thing to you, Nomar, continues to be that it's those 28 runs on 42 hits, but only 2 home runs and only 1 from a position player.
Well, yeah, I know. I mean, the first home run for the Dodgers came off the bat of Kenta Maeda, their pitcher. And prior to that home run, I was just impressed of the first 22 runs scored that were just produced without the home run. And like we talked about the opening of this game, just the type of at bats that the lineup has had. 1 through 9, and I just want them to continue the approach, not swinging for the home run, looking for it, knowing that they will come.
They were so reliant on the home run last year. They led the National League in homers, but were not up around the top of the league in runs scored. A lot of that had to do with struggles in clutch situations. Ball 1 to Puig. 1 for 2 today. Bounced into a double play and singled. Came around to score the Dodgers' 3rd run in the 3rd inning. Didn't miss by much. 2-0. Puig has had a really patient approach. Some of those borderline pitches he's been laying off of in this first week of the season, and when he's gotten a pitch to hit, he has attacked it. Dangerous one from Peavy to Puig. 2-0. Took it for a strike. Hard hit again, base hit again for Yasiel Puig. Seager holds at second on Puig's 2nd hit of the game. And 2 on with 1 out here in the 5th. Adrian Gonzalez comes up. When we look at our Carl's Cam replay, he has twice just barely missed home runs, doubling off at the top of the wall in right center in his first trip up, and then doubling to the opposite field. Off of the wall on the ball Pagan couldn't pull in to bring home Puig in the 3rd inning. Bats here with runners at 1st and 2nd. Dodgers already in front by 3. 1 gone here in the 5th. And already movement down in that Giants bullpen. George Cantos heading down there here in the 5th. 71st pitch of the outing for Jake Peavy. And we saw yesterday Andrew Cashner, who Gonzalez had taken deep 3 times in 1 game early on last year. We saw either the conscious or subconscious effect that had on him, pitching around Gonzalez, who walked 3 times against him. And you're seeing in this at-bat now with the 2 hard hit balls from Gonzalez. Peavy being wary of that and nibbling some.
The reason they're not on the same page right here, Buster and Jake, is because of Adrian's dominance in the other at-bats and in the past. Jake might be saying, I've got to change it up and go away from this guy important. Buster's like, you just need to execute your pitches. And sometimes the catchers will tell you, you really haven't hit the spots for the scouting report, so we don't need to go away from it. You just need to make better pitches.
Peavy with a 2-0. Gonzalez takes a well-executed pitch for strike one. Jake Peavy in his 15th big league season, former Padre, former White Sox, won a World Series with the Red Sox, won a World Series with the Giants. In his 2016 debut, trying to limit the damage here in the 5th inning. Throws back to Crawford, who's 10 feet behind the back.
Trying to find an out other than the guy standing at the plate. Not a lot of confidence in pitching to Adrian Gonzalez right now. He's still in a hitter's count. Finding out anywhere he can.
Gonzalez drives one well again, but Pagan is there this time. 2 away.
Hit it about the same as he did his double to left field. Just didn't get it up in the breeze right there. A little bit off the end of the bat on a little lower line drive.
Brings up Van Slyke. The Dodgers with the 3-0 lead, but they have stranded 4 today. And have him at first and second with 2 gone. That's ball 1. Van Slyke in his first start this season, and there for Crawford today.
Hit a couple times with man on second with Adrian Gonzalez out there, but needs to try somebody different than Denard Span in center field, where he's flied out twice.
That ball's hit well. Back on it goes Pagan. He's at the wall, and it's off the wall. Seager's in easily. To third goes Puig, and he tried somebody different. Tried the left field wall and got an RBI double to make it 4-0.
We talked about the Dodgers scoring some runs without hitting home runs. Well, I'll tell you, they had a chance to have 3 already in this ballpark, just off the wall. Not getting it up high enough, but this ball was scolded by Van Slyke. It's a breaking ball in the middle of the plate. Good swing on it. He just squared it up so nicely. Just didn't get the trajectory because he definitely had the power to knock that one out of the ballpark. It was just a tough angle. Good job by Van Slyke. 2 out RBIs. We say this all the time. They're so uplifting for a team and demoralizing for the opposing team.
Dodgers only hit .215 last year with 2 out in clutch situations to drive in a run, and so far this season they're doing a lot better.
Wind whipping in that direction. Not that that ball needed any help. Properly struck by Scott Van Slyke for his first base hit of the season. Bringing home his first run of the season. And the lead now 4-0 for LA. Peavy stays in there trying to get through this 5th. Facing the left-handed batting Jock Peterson, who was 1 for 2. Singleton scored in the 2nd. He struck out in the 3rd, but he did so on an 11-pitch at bat. Jock back in his home region from Palo Alto. A 40-minute drive from here, depending on traffic. That's with Puig at 3rd, Van Slyke at 2nd, and an 0-1. Ball 1.
Jock found himself in this position in yesterday's game where he manned second and third, 2 outs, and he ended up getting a nice ground ball back up the middle for a pair of RBIs, and he had 2 strikes on him. So see if he can shorten up and do that again here.
Bouncing ball towards the middle, but they had him positioned perfectly, and Crawford throws him out. He did exactly what you would hope that he would do, but the defensive positioning robbed him of a base hit and a couple of RBIs. The Dodgers add 1, lead 4-0. Alex Wood back to the mound with a chance at history on the other side. All started on Monday with that guy, Clayton Kershaw, 7 shutout innings, and since then 24 more delivered by this Dodgers staff. Kazmir took the ball on Tuesday. Maeda took it on Wednesday, and now it's Alex Wood delivering ball 1 to Brandon Crawford. The Dodgers are 1 inning away from matching the major league record for the most consecutive scoreless innings to begin a season, set back in 1963 by the St. Louis Cardinals, who delivered 3 shutouts and then 5 scoreless innings in their 4th game. They finished that season 6 games back of the Dodgers, who would go on to sweep the Yankees in the World Series. Wood to Crawford with a 2-0. And falls behind, 3 balls and no strikes. Pitcher's spot due next, but it will not be Jake Peavy. It'll be Tomlinson sent to bat in Peavy's spot, the 8th spot in Bruce Bochy's lineup.
Alex Wood has pitched around 2 leadoff singles in the last 2 innings, but doesn't want to give a free pass for a 3rd leadoff hitter to reach. No anxiety there with a 3-1 breaking ball.
But heavy breaking stuff to Crawford his first time up and struck him out. Battled back into the count after falling behind 3-0. And then walks Crawford, his first free pass issued today.
I think Alex shook to a breaking ball there, 3-2. It took a long time to get the sign from Austin. I think he was staring through some fastballs, got to that and just pulled it in the ground.
So Tomlinson pinch hitting for Jake Peavy, whose day finishes after allowing 4 runs over 5 innings. 10 Dodger hits against Peavy today. Tomlinson squares, bunts it up the first base line, and it's going to be a base hit. Perfectly done by Tomlinson. First and second with nobody out.
There really is no defense for this bunt. It's the exact distance that it needs to be. It's about 25 feet away from home plate. It's right down the line. It never reaches the dirt where it has an opportunity to roll foul. It stays in the grass and just dies in no man's land.
Perfect bunt and also perfect timing for it. Trying to get some runs on the board. Got a leadoff walk. You know the pitcher's frustrated that he walked the leadoff batter. Now you frustrate him even more, laying down a good bunt like that, and he finds himself at first and second, nobody out.
You having Pagan do the same?
I mean, I'll tell you, Pagan can think about it, but you also have him. We talked about he's 2 leadoff hitters, right? Well, he has guys in scoring position. Now you're probably saying, let me take extra chances of him knocking someone in. He's also pretty fast. He's not one of those guys you double up a lot, so you're probably going to want him to swing away.
Out of the 9 spot, Angel Pagan looks at a strike. No signs of showing bunt. With Denard Span due next. Struck out his first time against Wood. One of 3 Ks for the 25-year-old out of Charlotte, North Carolina. 2 on, nobody out, and an 0-1. Breaking ball, bounced softly to third. Hernandez has it, throws in time to get Pagan, advancing the runners up 90 feet. This crowd sensing a reason to cheer. And this crowd probably much of it dialed into what the Dodgers are gunning for here. 1 inning from tying that big league record.
Well, the Dodgers will play back in the middle, and they'll play in at third for sure. Adrian Gonzalez playing back at first. Kike in at third just to guard against the bunt. Everybody else will sacrifice the run, trying to keep it in the infield.
Wood to Span. A bouncing ball to second, and Utley will go to first to get the out. The streak is over, but that's the play the Dodgers wanted to execute. They go 31 innings without allowing a run in 2016, setting a new franchise record and falling just 1 inning short of the all-time baseball record. It was cool, it was fun, but bottom line, it really doesn't matter. They still have a 4-1 lead, and they execute the play they want for Wood, getting the out. Up to third goes Tomlinson, and 2 away.
In Field of Dreams, there was a line, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. Well, an out ago, it was Dodger baseball.
And that ball is struck well to right center field. Peterson lays out and can't get it. Panic with extra bases. He's got a triple. And it's a 4-2 game with Tomlinson cashing in from third.
Well, we moved from spring training to utopia to the regular season, and here it is, now the test. It's almost like when there was a perfect game being thrown and you give up a hit or you give up the walk. Can you get back out there and battle? And right now, Alex Wood has to forget what has happened and just get one more out and get him in the dugout and then let the offense start again.
Tell you, that was a tremendous effort in center field by Jock Peterson. And when that ball was hit, it looked easily in the gap, and he actually just took a good route after it to try to close the gap and just fell short of a tremendous play.
Now it's Posey representing the tying run suddenly for the Giants. 1 for 2 today with a ground out and a single. And Posey with a base hit into the left field corner. Panics in easily on a Posey double, and it's 4-3.
Well, you're right, Oral. It's those times after you give up that run. I know we've been talking about it. I know people can sense it. And once they get that leadoff walk, we talked about that. Pitchers always say that leadoff walk, how that can kill you. Well, you leadoff walk to Crawford, and with a team and a lineup like the San Francisco Giants, they can make you pay, and so far they're doing that.
Amy Garcia down to the Dodger bullpen. And Rick Honeycutt out for a visit. How many visits has he made this year? This can't be more than 2 or 3.
Second, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they've really been on top of their game out there, and he's done an outstanding job preparing this staff for coming out of spring training. The walk that put the door ajar for the Giants there was the first Dodger walk in 23 1/3 innings since opening day in the 8th inning.
That is only the second mound visit for Honeycutt. The first one where he didn't need to use an interpreter. Went out yesterday with Will Ireton, Kenta Maeda's interpreter. Hunter Pence now. Giants have the tying run in scoring position with a 3-run rally against Alex Wood here in the 5th.
Giants scored 12 in their opening day game against Milwaukee. Since then, the offense has been a little flat.
That one kicks away. Posey will take third, and it's 3-0 on Pence.
Breaking ball in the dirt. Austin Barnes does everything he can to try to get in front of that ball. Usually when you see a breaking ball, it kicks back the other way. That one really didn't scoot back the other way back into the catcher and gets away from him.
Three and one. That's ball 4. Second walk of the inning. The Giants have brought 8 men to the plate against Alex Wood here in the 5th.
I see Brandon Belt coming up, a left-handed hitter. I wonder why there's no lefty up in the bullpen. This situation with the visit from Honeycutt giving Alex Wood a shot at him being left-handed, but Yimi Garcia's splits down there in the bullpen are very good against lefties. Left-handers only hit 172 off of Yimi last year.
Dodgers entered this inning with 2 walks issued all season over the first 3+ games. 2 in this inning alone. There's strike 1 to Brandon Belt. Who just missed a home run his first time up, doubled in the second. Wood struck him out in the 4th. 0-2.
You know as a starting pitcher what inning you're in and that you're ahead. And you know you can't get credit for a W unless you get your team in the dugout right here with that lead still. Alex is the 3rd hitter next inning. He's pitching for his W for the ball club and a W for him.
Posey at 3rd, Pence at 1st, 2 gone, and an 0-2 from Wood. Giants got the scoring going with a bounce out from Pagan. Panic then tripled in a run. Posey doubled home a run. He's at 3rd after a wild pitch. Pence at 1st after the walk. 22nd pitch of the inning. And Belt loops one down the right field line. It's a foul ball.
Brandon Belt has made a conscious effort to go the other way this year. He knows he hooks too many balls, and he said, I'm not doing it to beat the shift. I'm doing it to barrel up more balls, to give myself a chance. Well, right there, still hooking it. Unfortunately for Alex Wood and the Dodgers, foul.
Okay, that's a tough ball to lay off of, especially when you don't like the first pitch strike called on you that was down there in the zone. That we even heard Bruce Bochy was kind of chirping at the home plate umpire on that first call, and yet you're able to lay off of that one. That was really close.
So the count 2-2 on the dangerous Brandon Belt. Now it's full, and now Pensa get a head start from first. Would easily score on a ball in the gap in this spacious yard. Dodgers in front 4-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. From spring training to utopia to Dodgers Giants. Bounce to second. Chase Utley's got it. Oh, and almost throws Gonzalez off of the bag. You could almost see him thinking. Gonzalez makes the play, and the Dodgers finally give up runs but maintain the lead as we go to the 6th. On a beautiful Thursday afternoon here in San Francisco. You can guarantee your tickets to opening day with the 2016 Dodgers mini plan. Choose from great promotional games, bobbleheads, number pins. Visit Dodgers.com/mini plans to learn more. Jake Peavy's out of the game. Chris Heston comes in and faces the bottom third of the Dodgers order. Kike Hernandez 1 for 2 today with an RBI single in the 2nd and a ground out in the 4th. Hernandez lashes a fly ball to center that sends Span back shy of the track for out number 1.
The wind has really changed throughout this game. We've had it blowing in from center, then out to left, and now it's just kind of gusting a little bit out to center, but those flags just rattled right there. It's swirling out there. Flags were blowing straight down when Kike made contact.
One away for Austin Barnes. takes a strike. At his first base hit of the year in the second, it was a single. And then a ground out to short in the fourth. 1 ball and 1 strike. No, never mind. They say that he offered. No balls and 2 strikes. Chris Heston, who made his big league debut 2 years ago. And then last year, in and out of the rotation, threw a no-hitter against the eventual pennant-winning New York Mets. Fly ball into the sunshine, and Pagan puts it away, and then nearly drops it out of the glove. It does hang on, and Barnes retired. 2 away.
And you can see the sky right now. It's kind of a, what they call like a high sky, bright sky. So he's out there. He's trying to cover his eyes as best he could with the glove. The sun blocked the sun so he can still see the ball.
Alex Wood batting for himself here in the 6th. 1 ball, 1 strike. You surprised at all, Earl, that we'll make a change here?
Well, Alex must have convinced Dave Roberts and Rick Honeycutt that he felt fine. They're protecting the bullpen a little bit. We've gotten 8 innings out of the bullpen over the first 3 games.
Heston with a 1-2-3-6. And Alex Wood will go back out there for the bottom half of this inning in a new game in San Francisco. 4-3. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop online at choosenissan.com. Alex Wood back out there, gave up those 3 runs in the 5th inning, but has only thrown 74 pitches. The only reason to assume that he might have come out was that his spot came up in the order in the top of this inning. But Dave Roberts has him bat for himself and return to the hill for the 6th.
Well, you can see that pitch count of 25 in the 5th, but Alex said I am fine. He's not going to face Denard Span here.
Matt Duffy leads off the inning by taking ball 1.
I made a mistake there on my lineup card. I apologize with Duffy leading off. They weren't pinch hitting or anything.
You know what, Nomar? That's what happens when you don't round into lineup cards, scorebooks, keeping regular season form during spring training. You just show up and
just think you can just pick it up right when the season starts.
I can. I just made a mistake, guys. I'm sorry.
Forgiven. 2-1.
Doesn't happen too often.
No, you caught us off guard.
Take a couple perfect guys to catch me.
Wow.
I will tell you, with Matt Duffy leading off, if I was a manager or the pitching coach, I would look and say, my pitcher wants to stay in, only 74 pitches, but how has he done against the hitters coming up? And with Duffy going 0 for 2 and Brandon Crawford behind him with 0 for 1 with a walk.
And let's not forget, too, that he's probably thinking, okay, you got a lefty coming up in Brandon Crawford. We have one lefty in the bullpen. You don't have two. J.P. Howell, maybe saving that maybe later in the innings. Too. So if I wanted a lefty to face maybe a Brandon Crawford, who, then let's not forget, led this team in home runs last year.
Right.
You're not just going to bring in a lefty for that. And if he feels okay, maybe you can have that lefty on lefty.
Matt Duffy leading off this 6th inning by shooting a base hit to the right.
Probably going to see action in the bullpen, and you might even see a visit, depending on who it is that's going to get up. If it's somebody other than Yimi Garcia, where they need time, Yimi will be able to be ready in one hitter. Somebody other than that might need some time.
Yeah, it looks like Yimi's was taking off his sweatshirt to get on out there.
We'll no longer see pitching coaches able to go out and buy time. You can go out and buy 30 seconds, but no more. You know, before the mound visit clock existed, guys would take their time getting out there and buy the relievers some extra warm-up time down in the bullpen.
And Joe, for that reason, you're going to see more first basemen, third basemen, shortstops, or second basemen coming in buying the time. There'll be an adapt. Guys will adapt, and they'll figure out how to get the time for the guys to warm up. Somebody will lose a contact or get sand in their eyes.
Crawford 0 for 1, walked and scored a run during that 3-run 5th. Coming off that breakout season, was an all-star for the first time. Signed a long extension during the offseason through 2021. A 6-year deal that helps solidify this infield that is so impressive for the Giants and full of that homegrown talent. Panic, his double play partner, Belt at first, Duffy at third. Going to include Posey in that behind the plate. And all of those guys controlled long term, with the exception of Brandon Belt at first. They have discussed an extension with. Ball and a strike on Crawford. Here comes Wood. 2-1.
Keep him close, keep the double play in order, get yourself a ground ball, get some momentum back on the Dodgers side.
Here Adrianza due up next for the Giants, ready to pinch hit in the 8th spot. And through the hole, base hit. They're a double play positioning, and so Crawford able to knife one through. 2 on, nobody out.
Two well-positioned ground balls by the Giants, not hit that hard. The first one was hit harder than the second one. This one is just in the right place, kind of fights it off the handle and just squibs it through there to left field. You see the ball barely reaching Scott Van Slyke out in left field.
I know that's frustrating for a pitcher, but also frustrating for an infielder, going, I just can't get to it because it's not hit hard, and I'm just out of position because I'm playing double play depth.
Dave Roberts going to make the change. Alex Wood solid today, but will need some help from the bullpen to have a chance to win this game. He's in position to win it right now, but the runners at first and second, his responsibility. Enter Yimi Garcia in a 1-run game in the 6th. 3 games beginning Friday, April 15th. You can get your tickets today and show up to the stadium wearing your Dodger blue. Purchase by going to Dodgers.com/tickets. Alex Wood out of the game. Yimi Garcia in, his 3rd appearance and his 2nd in the last 24 hours.
He's throwing the ball well. He's throwing the ball sharply. Mechanics have changed a little bit, so he's got a little more depth and a little more consistency with his pitches.
In a perfect inning last night, as Wood takes his seat and hopes that Garcia can get out of this and protect that 1-run Dodger lead. Adrianza bunts it back towards the mound. Garcia falls, throws, and gets him with Chase Utley coming across the base path to make the catch. What poise from Yimi Garcia.
Saw Yasiel Puig slip in right field when the turf gave way, and now Yimi coming in out front. Fortunately, his back spike catches a little bit. Throws from the seat of his pants. Chase Utley makes a nice adjustment, going into foul territory as the ball creeps over there.
Good job moving the feet over there by Chase Utley to switch feet on the bag to stay on it and to make that play. Very similar mark that Yasiel Puig made in right field.
It's Masters weekend. Looks like somebody taking a pitching wedge in the rough. So Angel Pagan with a tying run 90 feet away now. The Giants have the go-ahead run in scoring position. Garcia's first one to Pagan. Line drive, base hit. And the Giants take the lead.
Dodgers coming off a series in San Diego, coming here opening day in San Francisco. You know it's not going to be easy. You put a 4 spot on them, can't let up. You're riding a scoreless streak. And once they put one on the board, you know these Giants are going to keep coming at you. So the Dodgers find themselves. Here it is. You're in a dogfight that you got to go after and keep battling.
So Pagan with a 2-run single and a salute to this sellout opening day crowd. And the Giants have scored 5 unanswered, lead 5-4, turn it around to the top of the order in Denard Span. This is a deep, potent Giants lineup. Number 4 in the National League in runs per game last year. Got that veteran outfield with Pagan and Pence. Added Denard Span to it this offseason, and they've gotten several key pieces healthy again. Pence and Panic and Pagan and Belt all dealt with injuries last year. And they finished 8 games back of the Dodgers in the West. Here's the new piece, Denard Span. And there's ball 1.
Well, the 3 spot last inning and now the 2 spot this inning. The Dodgers are going to have to beat 10 players because the fans are in it now. And you're going to start hearing the Beat LA chants, and you're going to start hearing Let's Go Giants. And so it's going to really start to feel like that rivalry game to the men in blue.
It took off on Garcia, 2-0. You guys talk about endearing yourself to your new team. Denard Span on opening day in his first game in a Giants uniform set a franchise record for the most RBIs in a debut game in a Giants uniform. Drove in 5 against Milwaukee and included a home run. Then got sick and missed a day. 2-1.
It's a good way to start for your new team. And also for the fans who, he got a nice ovation when he was introduced here because they are obviously remembered.
You get that kind of offensive production out of a premium defensive position like center field. It's a huge bonus.
He waits on this 2-1 from Garcia. Signed him to a 3-year, $31 million deal this offseason. Former Twin, former National. And hoping that he can remain healthy this year. He played only 61 games last year because of hip problems. Pagan takes off. Span trying to bunt for a hit. Garcia picks it up and throws to get it.
Nice play by Yimi to get off the mound that quick, remembering that the last time you did that, you lost your footing. So you're going to be a little bit more deliberate with your footing when you go get this ball and then make the throw. You got to break your stride down a little sooner, stay wide, not put as much weight on one foot or the other so that you can stay upright.
Couple of nice plays by Yimi. Made a play from his backside after falling, fielding a bunt. The first batter that he faced. And now gets ready to face Joe Panik after a visit from Gonzalez and Utley and Barnes. Panik tripled in a run, then came in to score as part of that 3-run 5th inning. Giants have added 2 here in the 6th. Lead for the first time at 5-4. Here's another visit.
And on the same page with the signs with a man on second.
Angel Pagan with a go-ahead 2-run single. He leads off of second with 2 away. Garcia's 1-0. In the air to center. On comes Peterson. Not going to get there. Pagan scores on a base hit from Panik, who takes second. Wonderful base running from Joe Panik.
I was talking about wonderful base running by Joe Panik, but also, Jock Peterson's throwing home, and Adrian Gonzalez didn't get there to line it up for that throw home either. He wasn't over there lined up between Jock and home plate. Usually that's what you have to do. So there was really, if you notice when he throws this in, there's really no cutoff man as he's throwing toward home. So there he is. He comes up. So there's no one there. There's Adrian. All it is, you see Austin Barnes having to come up with it. I don't know if Adrian just assumed that you should automatically go to second with that ball because you really had no chance at home plate. But either way, somebody there just to cut the ball off would leave Panik at first.
Back-to-back 3-run innings for the Giants. Buster Posey taking ball 1. Lewis Coleman loosening for the Dodgers. Guys, I think the season is officially here now, huh?
Yep. The battles have started.
After outscoring the Padres 25-0 in a 3-game sweep. Trailing by 2 in the 6th now, and Posey taking ball 2. I mentioned Denard Span dealing with that flu bug in Milwaukee. Posey did on the trip out there. Recovered well overnight, Sunday into Monday, and was able to make the start. Another base hit. This one into left. Van Slyke comes up with it. His throw to the plate. Off of the glove of Barnes. Panik scores. Posey takes second, and it's 7-4 San Francisco.
That base hit doesn't plate a run if you hit the cutoff man or get the ball to second base with the last base hit. Scott Van Slyke makes a nice attempt at charging this ball really, really hard. Buster Posey's full swing gets through the hole here, but you watch Scott really charge hard. He is sprinting to that ball, doesn't break it down at all, tried to use all his speed to get on that ball as quick as possible, just a little late.
Dave Roberts headed back out there. He will take it from Yimi Garcia, who struggles in his third outing of the season. A 3-run inning, then a 4-run inning, and Lewis Coleman on to try and stop the bleeding. Made his Dodger debut on opening day on his birthday. Comes in here with a runner at second. And 7 runs in the bank over the last 2 innings for the Giants. Yimi Garcia struggles in this outing. He's chased by a Posey single, advancing to second. What is ruled an E7 on the throw from Scott Van Slyke. Hunter Pence 0 for 2 today. And Lewis Coleman from that sidewinding delivery slings in strike 1. It was really Coleman's emergence that led the Dodgers to having just 1 lefty in the season opening bullpen. They chose Coleman over Luis Avilan. He went to AAA to begin the year. Whistling fastball that time, and it's 0-2.
Luis Avilan was a great acquisition last year from the Atlanta Braves. It just had a really rough spring training. I think we will see him here in the big leagues sooner or later, and hopefully he gets it together and can make an impact up here.
A nice block by Austin Barnes behind home plate. It's deceptive. It's deceptive for the hitter from the sidearm, but it's not easy for the catcher as well. And as that's sweeping him to get that body in front of it and to keep it in front, knock it down. Good job.
Austin is probably the nimblest catcher on our roster with Yasmani and A.J. Ellis. He's got some real quick feet. He's the lightest of the 3, the most athletic.
Converted infielder. Started his time at Arizona State as a second baseman. Pence chases that slider from Coleman to finish the inning. But the Giants take their first lead of the game with a 4-run frame on 5 hits against Wood and Garcia. check in with Alana Rizzo.
Well, guys, it was Turner Ward, the hitting coach, that was leading the charge as far as the cheerleading section was concerned. As the guys were coming off the field, he looked them all in the eye and said, let's go, come on, we can do this. Let's put a 3-spot up on them right now. And then Dave Roberts comes over and shakes Jimmy Garcia's hands. It's Turner Ward, though, getting this team fired up to get some more runs on the board.
Some reality here, really, guys. The season is officially started now after the Dodgers cruised through that opening series against San Diego with 3 shutout wins and had a 4-0 lead in this one before the Giants scored 7 in a row. A couple of veterans here. Javier Lopez, a 38-year-old, into the game facing Chase Utley. Utley's 1 for 3 this afternoon. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Season is made up of hot streaks and cold streaks. Great players have long hot streaks and short cold streaks, and great teams have the same.
And Javier Lopez had a season-long hot streak last year. Fly ball to left. Angel Pagan has had some issues with his son today. Makes the play on this one, and Utley the first out of the 7th. You saw the numbers for Javier Lopez from last year. In 77 games, had a 1.60 ERA in his 37-year-old season.
Deceptive delivery, good breaking ball, and a strike thrower that attacks.
Strike 1 to Corey Seager. He's 1 for 3 today. Singled in the first inning. Scored the Dodgers' 4th run in the 5th. Softly hit the second. Joe Panik. This week only, T-Mobile customers can get a free season-long subscription to MLB.TV Premium. So go to T-Mobile.com/MLB to sign up now and catch every moment on America's fastest-growing LTE network. Couple of more hits for Puig today, who has reached in 11 of his 16 plate appearances so far this year.
I'd say the Giants bullpen so far coming in. Chris Heston did a great job after they put on 3 runs on the board to come in and put a 0 on the Dodgers, and then so far Javier Lopez coming in and trying to do the same, and has a good start to this inning.
Off the end of the bat. Panik again. 6 up and 6 down for the Giants bullpen. Stretch time in San Francisco. Dodgers down 7-4. Honda in-game box score. All the position players with at least one base hit today. Kike Hernandez knocking around with a single in the second. Adrian Gonzalez doubled home run in the third. Scott Van Slyke brought home a run with a double in the fifth. But the Dodgers trail 7-4 as we go to the bottom of the seventh inning, and Lewis Coleman goes back to the mound after striking out Hunter Pence to finish the sixth. Brandon Belt will lead it off. Then Duffy, then Crawford.
Still got 6 outs to get 3 runs. But a little dose of reality right now that the Dodgers are going to have to respond to.
And I'll tell you what really can help. I mean, the bullpen for the Giants did a good job shutting down the Dodgers those last 2 innings. But if Lewis Coleman can come in and get a quick inning to get them back in there, hopefully try to change the momentum into this game for the Dodgers.
Guy that forced his way onto this roster was signed by the Dodgers the day pitchers and catchers reported in late February. Kansas City had released him only a few weeks earlier. Spent most of last season in AAA with the Royals. Only 4 big league games last year. Was blocked by one of the great bullpens in a long time that Ned Yost had to work with on his way to the World Series last year. And so by letting him go, they in fact opened a door for him that he stepped right through in Dodger camp to earn a spot in this bullpen. His 2-0 to Brandon Belt. And a 4-pitch walk to start the 7th.
First walk in 23 1/3 innings was what opened the door for the Giants to break the Dodgers scoreless streak. They've been pounding the strike zone, but as we know, the old adage in baseball, walks will kill you, and there is no defense for them.
Matt Duffy started that 4-run 6th inning with a single. 1 for 3 today. It was Coleman who made his big league debut 3 years ago and then was a nice part of the bullpen in Kansas City for a couple of seasons before he broke the tip of his middle finger on his throwing hand before the 2014 season while he was fielding a grounder during spring training. So he had trouble gripping the ball, developed some bad mechanical habits because of it, and things kind of unraveled on him. Had a .556 earned run average in 31 games for the Royals, and then again last year hardly saw big league time. Can imagine though, the tip of the middle finger on your throwing hand, that's got to throw everything off.
First of all, you got to get back the strength, have the pain go away, and then you've got to build that feel back. And grip strength is very important in throwing a baseball. The stronger you are, the looser you can hold the ball and still have it in your hand, and having the structure of your bones be solid so that you can keep the ball in your hand without having to squeeze it. Because as soon as you start to squeeze it, your forearm tightens up, your elbow, and the pressure, the tension goes right up into your shoulder, and that slows your arm down.
And so much of this game is about feel. Whether you're the feel of the ball in your hand, when you're at the plate, the feel of the bat in your hand.
Speaking of finger injuries, you were telling me last night about the time that you dislocated your ring finger on your throwing hand.
Yeah, I did that diving for a ball in the infield and hit the lip of the grass, and I dislocated it. And Ball was right there. I knocked the ball down and I went to pick it up, and I couldn't pick the ball up because that finger is important to hold the ball, and so it just popped out.
Nice pick by Barnes.
Sometimes you'll see Austin scoot over there and try and block the ball. When it's that wide, he went for the full backhand stab. And the way the catcher's gloves are made today and the way they break them in, you can actually catch it almost like an infielder. You'll actually see during batting practice sometimes catchers will be out there with their catcher's glove on the infield catching ground balls.
2-2 to Matt Duffy. The cue shot to second. Utley feeds Seager, fires it on to first, and a double play. 4-6-3 to sit down Duffy. And we take a look at our Morongo Casino Resort and Spa slow-mo cam as they turn the twin killer.
Nice routine double play. Chase Utley given the feed. He kind of shuffles to the side. Some second basemen like to turn around and do an underhand. It doesn't matter as long as your middle infielder knows the way you like to feed the ball to second base. And Seager coming across and finishing the double play.
So Brandon Crawford bats with the bases empty. The Giants in front 7-4. Last of the seventh. Dodgers scored the first 4 runs of this game. 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth. Giants getting 3 in the fifth and 4 in the sixth. Crawford has scored 2 of those 7 runs. And a high fly ball to right. It'll hang up there. Yasiel Puig's got it, and the inning is over. So Coleman faces the minimum despite the leadoff walk. Let's see if those Dodger bats can get it going. Down 3. Than it is in here. I know we are coming prepared for some San Francisco weather, but it's pretty nice today. Temperatures in the high 60s, low 70s here in the ballpark. Supposed to be a little chillier as the weekend rolls on. A chance for rain tomorrow and Saturday. Dodgers bringing the middle third to the plate against Javier Lopez. Down by 3, and Adrian Gonzalez gets off on the right foot here in the 8th inning with an opposite field single.
Really fun to watch Adrian Gonzalez hit. Coming in here, we just talked about the last 2 innings. They got up 1-2-3, 1-2-3. He's leading off. He's not looking to say he's down by 3 runs. It's not about trying to hit a home run. It's about just getting on base. First pitch, knows it's a ball he can handle, and just stays inside and goes the other way.
And that will do it for Lopez. After the Gonzalez single, they bring on Romo. Dodgers trying to rally down 7-4. comes on here trying to protect the 7-4 San Francisco lead, and he'll get a pinch hitter. First chess game we see Dave Roberts playing, calling on the left-handed hitter and Carl Crawford to face the righty Romo.
It's really going with the traditional left-handed bat. Carl Crawford 0 for 6 off of Romo, and Scott Van Slyke was 0 for 4. Just likes this matchup a little better.
First one from Romo. Tails outside, ball 1. Made one appearance in Milwaukee, did Romo, and delivered a perfect inning. So the Giants won 2 of 3 from the Brewers. Dodgers unbeaten after sweeping San Diego. The 1-0. Strike 1. First time coming off of the bench this season for Crawford. Started all 3 games in San Diego. Had 3 hits in those 3 contests. This is one of the roles that Carl Crawford will play for this team. Veteran bat off of the bench, trying to help string together a rally here in the 8th inning. Protects to stay alive at 1 and 2.
Good job fighting off that pitch. Not an easy pitch. It's kind of a, almost looked like a backdoor slider coming on the outside, and you're trying to stay on it, and recognizing with 2 strikes, just getting a piece of it.
Taps in front of the plate. It stays fair. Moves the runner up. Gonzalez into scoring position. Crawford retired 2-3. 1 gone. And here's Jock Peterson. Wouldn't be a bad time for Jock's first home run of the year. Gonzalez at second and 1 away. A hard park to go deep in, though. There's a high fly ball to right center field. Carrying well. Back on it is Span, and he's done it. On the first pitch, he goes after it and hammers a 2-run homer to right center. And the Dodgers back to within 1 here in the 8th. Maybe I should say that more often.
Nice call, Joe. Not only a nice time for the home run, but calling how hard it is to hit it here. And Jock would know, because he plays that position where he just hit it over the head of a sinking fastball that doesn't sink too much, just tails. And as soon as he hits it, he takes a nice look at it like, I crushed that ball. Then he takes off around the bases and gets to watch it clear the fence as he's rounding first.
And Henry Rowan-Gardner just bombed one in from right center, throwing the ball back.
We were talking earlier about Yasiel, Jock, about making adjustments. When do you swing for the fences? When's the time in the count? Time of game? That was definitely a time. Oh, here it is. You're down by 3. You know you also need base runners. Let me at least take a chance. I know I have some power. And he let it fly and crushed it.
So Dodgers within 1. Kike Hernandez fouls one off, behind in the count 0-2. Into the deepest part of the yard with room to spare for Jock Peterson. Those were the kinds of shots he was hitting early on last year. Had they given away Rookie of the Year, even probably at the end of May, he would have been a runaway winner. With Chris Bryant not debuting until later in the season for the Cubs. He had debuted by then, but not been around long enough to have had a better body of work than Jock had over those first couple of months. 26 home runs total for him last year. And his first in 2016 comes off Sergio Romo to bring LA back to within 1.
And home run, a nice reminder of the first half that Jock had last year, losing to Todd Frazier in the home run derby at the All-Star game after his 21, I think it was, in the first half.
Here's a trivia question for you. See if either one of you guys can answer this. So Todd Frazier won in his home ballpark last year. He was the first guy to win the home run derby in his home ballpark since who and where?
Wow, good one. We can't do this without touching our phone.
Nope.
Ken Griffey, Seattle.
It was Ryne Sandberg in Chicago in the early 90s. He hit 2. The wind was blowing in that day at Wrigley.
I'm going to come clean. I had the truck working on it as soon as you said I'm going to have a trivia question for you guys. I hit talk back. I said, all right, put the answer in my ears, guy. And you stumped the truck, me, and Nomar.
All right. 2-2 on Kike Hernandez. Dodgers within a run in the 8th inning. Here comes Romo. Checked his swing. Full count.
I mean, for the Dodgers right now, after that big blast by Jock Peterson, it's not about looking for another home run. It's now continue just trying to find ways to get on base and produce the runs. They've shown that already early in this season that they don't have to rely on the long ball. That's a big one. Hopefully boost them over there in the dugout and keep going.
Hernandez loops a fly ball to left. That's way up there. Angel Pagan waits on it. 2 away.
We go from spring training to utopia to, oh, the Giants have come back and we didn't look too good for a couple innings, to we got us a Wago. That's what they're thinking in the dugout. A little more energy, a little more focus all of a sudden when you climb back in it from down 3 to down 1.
Austin Barnes has some pop. Goes after a disappearing off-speed pitch from Romo. Comes up empty. Strike 1.
Romo might have lost his closer job over the last few years, but he hasn't lost his slider. And he will throw it often.
It's Josh Osich you saw going down into the San Francisco pen. A hard-throwing 27-year-old. One-run game in the 8th inning, and the first of 19 between these teams this year. Austin Barnes pops it up. Left side of the infield. Duffy, and the inning is over. But the Dodgers back to within 1 on Jock Peterson's first home run of the season. Gonzalez singled to begin the frame, and then Jock hit one of those patented skyscrapers out of here to right center. Sportsnet studios in Los Angeles. They'll break it all down after the game. Alana Rizzo goes inside the clubhouse for interviews and reactions. It's all after the game on Access Sportsnet, brought to you by Nissan. Jock Peterson's 2-run homer has the Dodgers back within a run. He has a new outfielder flanking him to his right. Trace Thompson in defensively in left field, as he's been now in each of the 4 games in the late innings. J.P. Howell checks in on the mound and delivers strike 1 to Gregor Blanco. Howell fouls Coleman. 1 1/3 face the minimum. For the Dodgers in the 9th inning, they'll have 9-1-2 due up against Santiago Casilla of the Giants. Little jam shot. Seager can't get it. Blanco aboard to start the 8th.
Wasn't hit really hard. Got inside Blanco, jammed him a little bit, goes the other way, and just out of the reach of Corey Seager.
Giants have been beneficiaries of some of these jam shots and squibbers through the infield. Kind of really knocked Alex Wood out of the game with a couple of seeing eye ground balls.
24 hits total in this game. Giants in front by a run, though. They took the lead for the first time on Angel Pagan's 2-run single as part of that 4-run 6th. After the Dodgers had scored the first 4 runs of the day. Howell's second outing in as many days. Pitched in the finale in San Diego last night. He and Amy Garcia both going on back-to-back days on this opening road trip of the year. Blanco at first can fly.
JP definitely wants to keep him close at first. It'd be great to try and pick him off, but right now just trying to shut the running game down, keep his lead short, be deceptive enough that he can't go on first move.
In the air to left, Thompson started back, comes on and takes it on a bounce. Big swing from Pagan, had him going back on the first step. Hernandez backing up the throw. First and second to begin this inning, and back to the top of the order.
Once again, another one. Wasn't hit very hard, but it was just good placement. You mentioned Trace Thompson just kind of going back on it, but even if he gets a read, I don't know if he really has a chance of coming up with that ball.
They just served it out there.
Find some time here with Pedro Baez starting to lose some of the Dodgers' pen.
And also going over the bunt play, how aggressive they want to be. Sometimes if you're going with a very aggressive, like a number 3 bunt play where you're going to charge on corners, even send Corey Seager over to third, keep your pitcher alerted to it might change after the first pitch.
Denard Span up there. He lays it down perfectly. Third base side. Throw is late, and they're loaded. Over the speed of Span, Howell was going to have a hard time getting him at first.
The easiest play was at third. That was the possible out because of that bunt. Well executed, deadened, and perfect angle right there. Only about 3 feet from the line right there at third base, so you're not going to turn as a left-hander and go all the way to first. So the short way is right there. Beats it.
J.P. Howell really got off the mound, bounced off of it. There was any out to be made. The only way was possibly Kike Hernandez coming in to try to get Denard at first. Would have been a tough play that way as well because it was such a good bunt. But that's really the only way. But they were thinking about trying to get the guy out at third.
Howell stays in with the left-handed Joe Panik up. You would assume And Dave Roberts may go to Pedro Baez. Back-to-back right-handed hitters coming up next, and Posey and Pence. 3 softly hit singles for the Giants and the infield in for the Dodgers. Howell to panic with a 1-0. Line drive, base hit past the glove of Utley. Puig's throw comes home. It's cut off station to station, and the Giants get a run back. It's 8-6.
This ball's hit hard and an eyelash away from maybe getting a little double play. Giant runners freeze on a line drive out over Utley, and they hold him up wisely with Yasiel with good footing and a strong arm.
3 soft singles and then a laser against Howell. Giants have added a run. They lead 8-6. All 3 runners aboard are Howell's responsibility as Pedro Baez comes in. Into the fire. Giants have the bases loaded. They lead by 2. Nobody out. Buster Posey, the 3-hitter, coming to the plate against Pedro.
That's where it's important for Pedro Baez to really come in and put this fire out. And I don't necessarily mean even stop all the runs that are possible in this inning, but just get through the inning. With Ross Stripling making his major league debut tomorrow in the big Giant-Dodger rivalry series here, you want to have a bullpen that is rested and ready. You don't want to have to turn and go to Joe Blanton or somebody else.
Posey 3 hits today, bringing home a run with a double in the 5th and with a single in the 6th. Pagan's at 3rd, Spans at 2nd, Panics at 1st. And again, the infield comes in for the Dodgers, looking to come home on a ground ball. That does open up bigger windows, and you saw Panic's single take advantage of it. Baez to Posey. Strike 1. He sure looked good the other night in his season debut. Perfect inning for Pedro Baez with a couple of strikeouts.
Pedro Baez's development as a pitcher this year in spring training, he jumped leaps and bounds with the ability to command his breaking stuff, steal some strikes early in the count. When those secondary pitches come along, like that electric fastball, he will be able to dominate some lineups.
His 0-2. Buster Posey last year walked more than he struck out. So if you're looking for a Pedro Baez strikeout here, it'd be tough to come by.
There's a lot of guys in this lineup for this San Francisco Giant lineup that don't strike out a whole lot.
Bases loaded in the 8th inning in an 0-2. Got him. Did we jinx him? Good job, boys.
You called the Jock Peterson home run and you called this strikeout. That works. Keeps the game in balance with an opportunity in the 9th. Only down by 2. It's a big out right there.
Big out, but you can't let up.
Nope.
That's one thing about this lineup, because you got Buster Posey and then the other guy we talked about, the mascot, Hunter Pence.
Yeah. Posey last year struck out about once every 3.5 games. Goes down on strikes here. Now a ground ball could get Baez out of this inning. Hunter Pence taking ball 1 at 97 from Pedro Baez.
Hunter Pence in there kind of winding himself up with his practice swings and his adrenaline, knowing he's going to have to turn it up a notch to catch up to the 97. You see guys in a box like that, I'm thinking make something look like a strike, end up a ball, because I think they're hacking.
High drive left center field. That ball breaks this game open.
You cannot relax. This lineup, hitter after hitter. And their shortstop, who had 21 home runs, is hitting 7th. All of a sudden, to go through 3 and 4, a 1-0 slider that just stays there, more of a get over, get back in the count slider, but with the game in the balance, down by 2, now down by 6 after that swing. Hunter Pence makes you pay for hanging it.
And Pence gets a curtain call. His AT&T Park sellout crowd. So after finishing 1 inning short of tying a major league record for most consecutive scoreless innings to begin a season at 31 for Dodger pitching, they've allowed 12 over the last 4 innings. Funny game baseball is. To Brandon Belt.
Staff today went from the penthouse to the outhouse. And that's going to happen. And it's how you respond to it.
'97 again, got this one by Belt. 2 balls and a strike.
I think we knew after that series in San Diego that this is the test here for the Dodgers. We knew that. So I think you touched on it, Oro. The test is not so much this game, but how they react.
So many kids lay in bed at night and dream about what they want to be and what they're going to do, and all positives. I used to also pre-play the negative. A fielder making an error behind me giving up a 3-run blast to tie a game late. Just how my job is, how am I going to react to that, and how am I going to be at my best even when something bad happens.
Well, they had him shifted, so it's a long run for Kike Hernandez, relatively speaking, to make the play on the pop-up from Belt, to retired. And Duffy's 1 for 4. Second time today make that third time today. The Giants have brought 8 men to the plate in an inning. After a series in San Diego where Dodgers pitching had 18 1-2-3 innings out of the 27 innings total in that series. Duffy drops one into center. Another San Francisco hit, their 17th of the afternoon.
Duffy just got his hands above a high fastball and just blocked it out there to right center. Good piece of hitting, short, quick, on top of it.
Dodgers are trying to do something today, guys. I mean, it's going to take an incredible rally in the ninth, but they were trying to do something that hadn't been done since the late 70s, and that is start a season 4-0 with 4 road wins. So while we tried to keep things in perspective in San Diego, while we were enjoying it, you got to keep things in perspective here as you hit the first speed bump in the 2016 season. A 3-1 road start, barring a large 9th inning rally, is something that had you told this team that going into the road trip, they would have taken in a heartbeat.
Let's not forget when they came into San Francisco and the way it looks right now, they were 2-8 here in San Francisco last year, so they definitely want to improve on that. There's no question about that. They also had only averaged fewer than 2 runs per game during those 10 games here in San Francisco as well. So they're off to a better start so far in this game than in this series, but you know, there's a lot of games left, a lot of baseball to be left, and it's how they respond.
158 of them. 158 to go. Crawford held up, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tomorrow, Ross Stripling makes his major league debut. A kid that has never pitched above Double-A, winds up winning the 5th spot in the rotation. He'll take on Matt Cain, once promising young pitcher who has dealt with injuries over the last couple of seasons. Strike 3 called on a breaking ball on Crawford. And of course, Kershaw, Bumgarner on Saturday. Kazmir and Cueto goes Sunday, and what is the final game of this 4-game series and of this 7-game season opening road trip. Tomorrow, Kane only 26 games started over the last 2 years because of the elbow problems. Kershaw, Bumgarner, edition number 1 this season. On Saturday, Bumgarner battled through that stomach bug going around the team in his season opening start on Monday. Kazmir and Cueto, the free agent additions to these ball clubs, face off on Sunday. Jeff Samardzija will not pitch against the Dodgers until the teams come together at Dodger Stadium next weekend. There is Samardzija with Bumgarner. And Hunter Strickland to the mound to try and wrap things up for San Francisco. Charlie Culberson grabs a bat and stands in for the Dodgers. And Strickland goes to work here in the 9th inning against Culberson. For strike one. Big offseason free agent investment from this Giants team. More than $250 million they invested in the rotation between Cueto and Samardzija to help out Bumgarner, and then a Denard Span in center to join with all that homegrown talent they have around the infield. A really potent lineup that we saw today explode for these 12 runs on 17 hits. And a new look rotation with guys like Hudson and Lincecum and Vogelsong no longer part of the equation. Cueto and Samardzija in. Culberson fouls it back, and it's 1-2.
They really turned over the roster. And their roster got turned over also with just the health, too. Take a look at Matt Cain, who pitched tomorrow.
Culberson turns around one and sends it in the air to center. Denard Span has it for the first out of the ninth. And the free agent spending for the Giants is pretty un-Giant-like. A lot of times their big moves have happened and not even really been big moves, but subtle ones that have been effective at the trade deadline to help with the postseason pushes. Those 3 World Series titles in 10 and 12 and 14.
Sometimes you can have an off season where some money clears the books and you decide to make that push. Sometimes you say, you know what, we're near our budget number, but there'll be some flexibility from ownership around the trade deadline if the team warrants it. The Giants have been very smart on how they've spent their money.
They've also done a good job having homegrown players. I mean, on the 40-man roster, 27 of them are homegrown.
Chase Utley with an opposite field single. Second hit of the day for Chase. One away here in the 9th. And a lot of those guys, Nomar, are not guys that they drafted in particularly high spots or that were big prospects. They've developed through the minor league system. They've shown up still not highly touted. Thinking of a guy like Matt Duffy, who got called up early on last year. Joe Panik, who was an early draft pick but never a high prospect and has broken in as a second baseman. Maybe no better example than Brandon Crawford at short, who's turned into one of the most well-rounded shortstops in the game. Corey Seager off of the hands into left. Blanco.
All the guys you just mentioned, they come up here, have an opportunity to play and make an impact. And they're, when you look at this Giant lineup, this team, they're like role players. They understand their roles. They grind out at bats. They put pressure. They play solid defense. It's like role players, or maybe one superstar in Buster Posey who acts like he's a role player. You know what I mean? It's not full of egos. They go out there and they play.
Yasiel Puig has continued his hot start to the season. Couple of hits today. 2 hard hit singles. Batting out of the 3 spot for the first time. Dodgers will have many of their regulars back in tomorrow, as far as Crawford and Turner after days off today. Crawford coming in as a pinch hitter tonight, but not making the start. Ball and a strike on Puig. We saw Dave Roberts get the Powerade bath on Monday. I think the Dodgers today got a bath of regular season reality after sweeping San Diego. 1-2 on Puig. Giants take game 1 of 19 between these teams this season. After a 4-0 Dodger lead, they scored 12 of the last 14 runs. Hunter Pence put it away with a grand slam. Time for our Lexus play of the game. It was Pence's grand slam off Pedro Baez after the Dodgers had clawed back to within 1 on Jock Peterson's home run. Giants added 1 in front of that, and then Pence launched it against Baez to all but seal the deal with the curtain call on this home opener for San Francisco. Great thing is we get to do it again tomorrow, and Ross Stripling makes his big league debut against Matt Cain. That does it for now. For Oral and Nomar and Alana, Joe Davis saying so long from San Francisco. We send you now to our Access Sportsnet, brought to you by Nissan.